Hey y'all, so this message is particularly for white women, okay? So in my timeline, it happened to be that a old clip of a Glennon Doyle We Do Hard Things podcast popped up where it was Dr. Yaba Blay talking to Glennon and Abby about white tears, white women's tears in particular. I couldn't agree with the clip more. I'll actually put a link in there in the description so you can see the link. But let me share with you just a few things that I'm thinking about this. For white women listening to this post, it is extremely hard for people of color to take your tears seriously. Now, let me tell you why. Let's think about this in context. I've heard white women in response legitimately say, well, wait a minute, I can't have emotions. I can't be a human being. I can't cry. I can't do whatever. That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is, as you emote, number one, it happens in context, meaning there is a history of white women using emotions to harm other people. Emmett Till is just the beginning of that, okay? So that's one thing. White women's tears and emotions have been used to harm people, one. Number two, women of color and their tears have been completely disregarded systemically. Let me give an example of this. Dr. James Marion Sims, known as the father of gynecology. If you read anything regarding him, the history of medical apartheid in this country, we're not just talking about Tuskegee and syphilis, okay? We're talking about black women being operated on in scientific experiments, enslaved black women without their consent. And there was no care in the world about their harm, hurt, danger, or emotions in regard to this. I think of immigrant women who are ripped away from their children and no one cares when they cry. So white women's tears and emotions are highlighted. People of color's tears are disregarded. And you wonder why people of color have no tolerance for your emotions. You get the luxury of crying without context, and someone wipes your tears and hands you a tissue. Black women, brown women don't get the luxury of crying. We usually get to a place where we have so under emoted because we know we're not going to be taken seriously that it directly affects our health, our stress levels, to the point that black women presidents are dropping dead, among other health issues. So this is why we have very little tolerance for white emotions. Very little. It's not you personally, it's a system. And that system has violated some, elevated others, and guess who gets harmed? People who look like me. Y'all need to take a look at that clip, but this is the reality. So white women and your emotions, individually, it makes sense to have those emotions. Systemically, we're not having it. We're not having it. No love lost, but we're not having it.